Jermall Charlo's hand looks absolutely swollen, possibly a break or fracture after the fight with Juan Montiel. Classic fight, hometown fight. Jermall Charlo won that fight. Lions only. Yeah, keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in all of boxing. I got the hottest content on the net on YouTube. Click the subscribe button if you enjoy the channel, or if you're new and you haven't done that, hit the bell notification so you don't miss a thing. Let's get into it. Showtime Boxing's main event, H-Town's own. Yeah, Lions only. Keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth. Jermall Charlo, you see him? He's looking drippy. Walked out with his brother. Great sight to see. His brother Jermall Charlo is fighting for undisputed. That's a hell of an accomplishment and opportunity in July next month, and that's at 154. Now, Maul just fought yesterday on Showtime against this man, Juan Montiel. He had only been beaten once by stoppage by Jaime Munguia, which we'll get to later. It was a hometown fight, and I gave you my fight predictions and thoughts and stuff. I told you it was going to be a better fight than people thought. Montiel clearly had learned some things since his loss to Jaime Munguia, and he came to fight. You know, this was about as fun as you can get for a one-sided fight. You know, this was a one-sided fight, but it still had elements and spots where it was competitive. You know, in that fight, this was kind of a battle of attrition. If Charlo wasn't the champion he is, if he didn't have the heart he had, if Montiel didn't have the heart he had, then it wouldn't have been that type of fight. But both guys, you know, props to them. They collided and they made for scintillating action. And if they both had any lesser heart, any lesser talent, any lesser grip, then it wouldn't have been that type of fight. Maul was hitting Montiel with some smoke, and he just kept coming back for more. So there was a great deal of respect from the two post-fight. Now, we learned after the fact that Maul Charlo has an injury sustained in that fight. He posted this, you can see it, and oh, that's him and Ocho Cinco who went out there and checked him and just had a celebrity boxing fight. You know, look, wow, Drake. You have Drizzy Drake. I was running through the six with my whoa. You know how that go. He got Drizzy Drake, you know, because he's part of the OVO movement, you know. So Drake was watching this fight. That's a big look. Big look. Charlo on his screen on probably one of many screens that Drake has in his crib. And then there you see it. Boom. See it. Charlo's hand looks ill. And it says, welcome OVO verified page. Now, I didn't have no problem with Charlo's performance. And just in case you guys want to see it again, bam, I got you. That's Charlo's hand. So you see he's holding up his hand. And you can clearly see that there's a major difference. Like his lead hand, which is the hand that's hurt, the right hand or orthodox, is like completely swollen. It looks like a cow udder. It's like ballooned up. And his other hand looks pretty primarily flat and stuff like that. So that's a nasty injury. I don't know if it's an actual full break or if it's just a fraction, or it could just be very bad bruising. I'm not Charlo's doctor. He hasn't said much, but you gotta give Charlo a whole lot of credit because he fought through this. You know, sometimes you look at these fighters and their threshold for pain, it's insane. You know, Gabe Rosado gets put down in the first round by a puncher in his fight yesterday, and he gets put down via body shot. Some guys, they get these body shots, they don't get back up, you know, and then he got back up to one hit quit. Beck the Bully. Charlo, warrior, he showed you. Both brothers continue to show you at a high level that they're warriors. They're really about this fight game. They're clearly in shape, clearly coming with it. There was a little, I don't know if it was the scale or whatever, but he missed weight and then he made it within the allotted 2-hour time. And then there was no problem. We had the fight. He keeps his title, no biggie. I don't know what happened. Sometimes the scales aren't calibrated right, whatever. But you got to give credit to the Charlo brothers because they're doing a great job with their brand and branding themselves. And clearly they're warriors. Anytime you see a guy's hand like that and he's fighting through that, his opponent, see, and this is the thing, a lot of people were saying different stuff, this, that, and the third, and saying, oh, why he should have looked better, he should have knocked him out. Bro, you're not gonna knock everyone out. And when a guy's in survival mode or has the conviction of like, hey, I'm not here for that. I'm not here to have you knock out. I'm not trying to be on your highlight reel like the Hugo Centeno fight. This was a different fighter, different style, different chin or whatever. And you can't sleep on that from Charlo. Like the shots he was hitting Montiel with, he was definitely hurting Montiel, right? There was points where it looked like Montiel had to like get his bearings back and he had to like survive. And that's what it is. To me, the only thing that Charlo could have did to make this, to give himself a higher letter grade, is when he hurt Montiel, I thought he threw the whole game plan, and it could be because he was fighting at home in Houston. He wanted to impress and he wanted to look good, and he knew his man was hurt, and he's a great finisher normally. But he didn't fight Sergey Deryevchenko like that. Like he just gave Deryevchenko the respect throughout, and he never tried to press and force a knockout. But he did stand his ground in spots, and he dominated Deryevchenko, but he dominated Montiel too. The difference being is, I think once he really hurt Montiel, he's a great finisher, so he was trying to get that finish. It's kind of like Deontay Wilder. He's so used to knocking people out, just like Charlo. They know they have snappy power. And when Tyson Fury stood up, Wilder was like shimmying like that. Wilder hit the shimmy, and he looked over, and then Tyson Fury is getting back up. Somehow, some way, he's getting back up. So at the end of the day, some guys, they find a way, or on that given night, they know how to survive or get back up. They know how to survive or get back up. So at the end of the day, that's cool. Credit to Montiel. He really lost every round, from what I've seen. Maybe if you want to be nice, you gave him, I don't know, gave him a small 1 or 2 rounds, maybe. But all in all, he clearly lost the fight. That's the point I'm making. And credit to Charlo for fighting through this. I mean, that looks nasty. It looks like a significant hand injury. And the other thing, I give credit where credit's due. A lot of the racists and people, they're not going to give credit. They already don't like the Charlo brothers for whatever reason. And that's just what it is. So they're never going to give credit. But I'm going to give credit where credit's due. The man, if you listen, I'm making the video. He's not making the video. To my knowledge, he ain't even really said nothing other than show that picture. So I'm doing the talking. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because Charlo, in his post-fight after, he just showed the utmost respect for a guy, giving him some good, good rounds in, and making his cardio work and standing up to his best shots and stuff like that. He showed professionalism. He was a consummate professionalist, and he showed love. And one thing he didn't do is make any excuses. He has no reason to apologize. Like I told you, Shakur Stevenson, people were saying he was boring. Shakur went online and apologized. You should never apologize, in my opinion. You should never apologize for a victory. Listen, shit, I wish I would. I ain't never gonna apologize for winning. I don't care how it looked to the outside world. You know what I mean? If it's a fair and square win, I'll never apologize. But Charlo had no reason to apologize. But what I'm saying is he could have at least brought it up, because clearly his hand, you're a fighter. You've been fighting all your life. You know if something's wrong with your body. This is your temple. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure he knew. Wilder fought Chris Arreola with a torn bicep and a bad injury to his hand and stuff like that. Other fighters have done it too. But Charlo did it the warrior way. He literally said nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because old media and the racists in old media, when Wilder tells you his truest thoughts and he says this and this happened, or I feel this and this happened, people say he's making excuses. Charlo gave you a great fight in his hometown. It was an action fight. You can't call him a runner. You can't say he's boring like they do to other black fighters. So they say he's exposed and stuff. What about, what about the people? How come old media is not talking about how he brought out a beautiful H-Town crowd and it looked packed? What about that? What about the fact that he's fighting and his hand is clearly jacked up and he's still throwing malicious shots with a banged up hand and still hurt? I don't even know what round this occurred. I got to wait for JERMALL to come out with more information. But boxing fans got it twisted and they focus on all the wrong things. This is a true brotherhood sport. It's a fraternity. You know, there can only be one winner. You got to get out your feelings. Charlo did that. Montiel, he had a great game plan. He tried. He did better than I guess people thought, but he clearly lost. You know, credit to him. I definitely want to see PBC bring Montiel back. It was a good fight, and it could be that. But people, you know, people jump out the window. They did the same thing with Teofimo. Teofimo had to fight with the tall Japanese dude, Nakatani, and one performance that they thought he underperformed, they said that Teo was exposed and, you know, Teo should have did better and stuff because they never heard. You guys got to do your research. Some of these guys are tough. Nakatani's tough. Montiel's tough. They were taking tough shots. That's boxing. It's going to be like that sometimes. You see what I'm saying? It's not no big deal. That's just the reality. You know, different people are put on the earth for different things. Some people are just tough as nails. You know what I mean? But everybody wrote, after the Nakatani performance, everybody wrote Teofimo off. His next fight, he made Richard Comey do the stanky leg, and everybody loved Teo again. Then he beat Lomachenko. Now everyone's loving and on his dick. Charlo has a dominant performance. I thought he looked good. Again, the only slight adjustment, and see, this is the thing. You can't deny the skills you've seen from Charlo. He was boxing well. He had a body attack. His jab is money. His chin is money. He got a goat right here, so he trying to be the young goat. You know what I mean? He got back when his hand was hurt or whatever was going on. He got tired. He got back to the boxing more and throwing singles and then mixing in some combos. His punch variety was there. Like, this was an awesome fight and an awesome display of boxing. Just because he didn't knock him out and you want to call the dude a cab driver and stuff, and just because a guy knocked him out before, Sergio Martinez got knocked out by Antonio Margarito and had a hell of a career after that. Pacquiao been knocked out cold and had a hell of a career. So once again, a lot of people don't know ish about boxing. This particular fight puts Charlo in the same conversation of other people who have fought with these broken and fractured hands and badly damaged hands. Floyd Mayweather's done it. I know Wilder's done it. Lomachenko had a fractured hand one of his fights. A lot of fighters do it. It's, you know, it's the hurt business. You guys got to show respect. In fact, here's Andre Ward. Andre Ward, this is when he fought Carl Froch. You can see the definite difference in both of his hands. And I don't know if it's the angle, it's hard to tell, but the swelling in the fight with Charlo, that almost looks equivalent, maybe even worse than the Andre Ward. They both got the victory. Another person that comes to mind is Sean Porter. Sean Porter in the Granados fight, he fought and he had an injured hand, and he had it, you know, you just had to get the win how you can get it. You can't knock everyone out. But when he fought Errol Spence a couple fights later, and he beat you guys, even though, you know, you can argue maybe he didn't, but he gave Errol Spence a run for his money, and perhaps Errol's toughest fight. This is boxing. People take these small moments and wins, and then they try to over analyze them and, you know, just turn it into something else. Sean Porter, he got exposed, and then he comes back and gives Errol a super tough fight. But in the Granados fight, he didn't look that great because his hand was hurt or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm a big picture thinker. High performance people look at the big picture rather than smaller, minute moments. The bottom line is he fought with a hand like this. Montiel lost every round damn near, and Charlo moves on. Montiel, bring it back. It was a good fight. Enough said. Use my link in the description to get TubeBuddy, an awesome browser extension to help you make some money on this YouTube platform, like yours truly. You want to make money on YouTube, it's doable, but you got to dig into your analytics. Use TubeBuddy, it's a great resource. I use it for videos like this, and we working. Let me know what you guys think. Click my link in the description. Get TubeBuddy for the latest and greatest. Subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Charlo, fighting with injury, not complaining, thugging it out. And I can't wait to see his other brother fight. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.